Hello, everybody. Ryan here, and today I wanted to just take a quick, a bit of a video here to talk about the playoff standings as we are 6 races from the end of the regular season. We've got um, 6 fairly unique tracks left. I mean, we got Pocono, we got Michigan, we've got Watkins Glen, Bristol, Darlington, and Indianapolis. There we go. Hey, I named all 6. I don't. That was nowhere near in the exact order. I know we got Pocono, and then I think it's Pocono, Watkins Glen, Michigan, Bristol, or not Dover, Darlington, Indy. I don't know, but yeah. So also I did get the Chase Elliott put into place there, so we got that in there, and yeah. So let's. I'm gonna pull up the point standings here real quick, and then we'll take a quick look at them and see like kind of who's in trouble and who we think is gonna make it. So here we go. Oh, there we go. And come on, guys, really gotta keep blowing my thing up. So yeah, we got ourselves though. This is the point standings. This is something NBC provides. So I did grab this from them. So all credit is to them. But it was the only way I could really find a way to easily show you guys the points with all the winners put straight to the same side. So we got 9 playoff eligible winners. Of course, you don't see on here Justin Haley in his 77 car because 77 isn't in the top 30 in points, and Justin Haley is an Xfinity regular, not a Cup regular, so he is not in the playoffs. Um, but yeah, and then you look through here. I think some of the easy ones like Kyle Busch, MTJ, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, all 9 drivers that have wins are pretty much guaranteed lockups. Kind of interesting though to see like who has more playoff points and whatnot. Like how Joey Logano almost has more playoff points than his teammate Brad Keselowski, despite having 1 less win, and that MTJ has 5 less stage wins than Kyle Busch. So I guess stage winner MTJ not quite anymore. Seriously, man, my computer is just blowing up right now because I guess people decide that I'm actually interesting to talk to for once. So here we go. But yeah, so we got ourselves yeah, so we got um Eric Almirola. He's all but guaranteed 98 points ahead. Basically, as long as he doesn't have a catastrophic failure like what happened with Daniel Suarez at Daytona or Eric Jones in the Coke 600. Basically, as long as he doesn't have a last place finish, um, Eric Almirola should be guaranteed into the next round of the into the playoffs, and I think he could probably go pretty far as well. And with the new momentum from Stewart Haas having their first win of the year, I think that that's going to give Eric Almirola a lot of momentum going towards the playoffs. Ryan Blaney as well. I think he's all but locked as well, and hopefully he can start to gain some of that momentum. He hasn't had any of the momentum from Penske's dominating starts of this season, or at least they're partially dominating. I mean, really, Joe Gibbs was more dominating just because they've got Kyle Busch and MTJ each winning 4 races, as you guys can see over there. But yeah, but I think no doubt, again, unless Ryan Blaney has a catastrophic race like Jones or Suarez, as previously mentioned, he should also be in. But some of the ones I want to look at are some of the guys further down here. But I'm going to quickly just mention William Byron. He's also almost gonna be. I'd say he's gonna be pretty solid as long as he doesn't completely flop at like Pocono, because he was actually pretty good at Watkins Glen. He had a top 10 run going at Darlington last year, so I'd say he has some good tracks here, and he won Indianapolis in his only full time Xfinity Series season. So I would say that he should be pretty good at least 3 of these upcoming tracks, so he should be pretty safe in the playoffs, especially with a 61 point buffer. Kyle Larson, even after his bad finish at New Hampshire, where he had the tire go down and he got spun out by where he ended up spun out. Whether you think that was William Byron or not William Byron, Bowman or Larson's fault. Either way, Larson ended up spun out and he had a bad day, but because of some of these other guys down here, he actually is 13th on the playoff board still and is 31 points above the cut line. I would say that's solid, but I wouldn't say that's a guarantee that he's going to make it. And then kind of down here, these final three are some of the ones I wanted to talk about. Because we had Eric Jones, who last week was on the cut line. He gets a third place finish on a day when a lot of playoff bubble drivers had issues. Where we had guys like Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, all with issues. It's like Jones really capitalized when it mattered. So that's what puts him now almost on the same level as Kyle Larson. Despite he had that really bad race at the Coke 600, which he's just been trying to dig himself out of. And then Ryan Newman. To be honest, I actually kind of expected him to do this. I kind of expected um, that Ryan Newman was gonna pull off this was gonna actually be a factor in this playoffs, and I actually thought he was gonna make it. Just because he's been pretty good in that like first year that he's with a new team. Like as soon as he's swapped from team to team, like I think it was his first year with RCR, or his first year away from Stuart Haas, I believe it was, and he was in the championship four. I believe that was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Um, his his early years, I mean, he was the rookie of the year in his first year in the Cup Series. So I mean, I think he's done well in like his first couple of seasons with a new team before he kind of stagnates out. And to be honest, I'm happy to see Ryan Newman doing this well. Also, kind of shows that the veterans really seem to be holding it out. I mean, we've got two guys I would consider are still young drivers in this, while we've got guys like because the only two non-young drivers that I'd say have wins are Elliott and Bowman, and then Byron, Blaney, Larson, Jones are the other young drivers that are inside the playoffs right now. Because I'd say Eric Amarola is a veteran at this point. Newman and Boyer are obviously veterans, and kind of going on to Boyer now. Um, Boyer, I feel like he needs to make the playoffs this year because if he misses it 2 out of 3 years with that 14 car, I mean there are very very interesting prospects in the Xfinity Series. In particular, that guy named Cole Custer, that could come up and take a ride, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be either Clint Boyer or Daniel Suarez. But yeah, so Clint Boyer, 17 points above. That's literally one bad race will knock him out. Kind of like what happened to the guy right below him, Jimmy Johnson, who is already got his contract for next year, and I think after that he's going to retire. But he is 17 points out, and he is trying to make sure that he doesn't miss the playoffs for his first time in his career. He's never not made the postseason since they introduced the postseason. And right now he's looking like he might miss it. And then we also have down there, we've got Daniel Suarez, who is the same amount behind. He is 17 points out after the Daytona race and all that, where Daniel Suarez finished 40th at Daytona, which, I mean, I just don't understand what he was doing there, because, I mean, he would basically completely wrecked someone at Daytona, but, yeah, so Suarez, I would say he is in a do or die situation. Like, he and Boyer are basically fighting it out. If one of them makes the playoffs and the other one doesn't, I think that makes Stuart Haas's decision on who to replace. And of course, also sponsorship, because I don't know how much of a partner Toko is with Clint Boyer versus being just a Stuart Haas sponsor. And Daniel Suarez does have Eris for at least, I believe, 9 races this year. So it's not like he's just being funneled in with money, but he does have that edge over Clint Boyer sponsor wise, I believe. So, but I would still say it's gonna be do or die because I mean he is. I mean, if you go 3 seasons in the Cup Series, 2 with Gibbs and 1 with Stuart Haas, and you can't make the playoffs in any of those, there's gonna be concerns there. Um, on your kind of future, um, in the sport. But yeah, so then we've got Paul Menard down there. I mean, he got into it with Harrison Burton um, in the Xfinity race, and then but yeah, he's 60 points out. He and Stenhouse, I believe, are both basically must wins at this point, and I'd say, barring them basically getting a fuel mileage win, I'd say the only chance for Stenhouse to win would be Bristol, and then Menard maybe lucking his way into another Brickyard 400. But yeah, so I don't think Menard or Stenhouse are going to make the playoffs this year. As I said, it would take a Stenhouse winning at Bristol or a fuel mileage race for either of them. But I think the most interesting situation, though, is going to come from what happens between the drivers there in the number 48 and 41, where we've got a champion who's trying to make the postseason for his 17th, I believe, straight year. 17th or no, 18th straight year. Um, and then we've got a younger driver who is in desperate need of a win to save his to save his chances of surviving in the sport. So, but yeah, but yeah, so, and then there's a few others down there that could luck into wins. I mean, De Benedetto was close this week, but yeah. So, but yeah, just count. Why is my phone blowing up here? But yeah, so, um, but yeah, so that's the main thing I wanted to talk about in this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. Subscribe if you guys are new and want to see more content like this. I try and do it one or two times throughout the week, sometimes more if there's a big news announcement. I also am working on a race vlog, so I also, whenever I'm out at either local tracks or at the cup races, I do a lot of videoing while I'm there and try and put together something for you guys, content wise over there. So, and if you guys enjoy those over on my Patreon, there are some public posts that are completely free. Just go over there and you can get the link to the full vlog, because I don't necessarily want to keep putting out like hour-long vlogs. So I try and just put the most interesting stuff, at least in my opinion, in the video. But if you want to see the full thing, go ahead and check that out. Also, you can support the channel over there or down below at the at my shop over on Teespring. You can get some Ryan Dyer t-shirts or some Thomas Cup Series playoff t-shirts. Also, I'm working on a new design as well, so that will hopefully be there within the next month and a half. I'm hoping. It's not too long, but really comes down to how long it takes me to finalize what I want to do for design there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!